Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to another episode of Parlay with Jay, where I get to have an English conversation with you to help you improve your English comprehension, vocabulary, and your English vocabulary. Now, I normally have a story to read, and you can follow along on the screen, but I wanted to have an intermediate to advanced conversation with you today about an article concerning a current event that has taken place on this week. So I'm fresh off of vacation and I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I normally do. So I hope you're ready for a little bit of learning and laughter. Let's dive into today's story. So last week or earlier this week, my wife asked me, had I heard about a gunman that had shot someone in New York City? And I said, no, I hadn't heard about it. So I went and I read some articles about it. So now I am more informed. And while I was reading this article, it has some great vocabulary words and phrases that I want to talk about and see if you grasp the meaning of these words and phrases. So let's start out with the headline: Gunman at large after United Healthcare CEO fatally shot in brazen targeted attack, police say. Gunman at large. So when you hear that statement, someone is at large, it simply means that the authorities have not apprehended or caught a suspect. They're still at large, or they're still on the loose. Now, as I got on social media, I saw people making a lot of jokes about this heinous crime or this violent crime. But nonetheless, I'm not going to get into that. I would like to say what a crazy world we live in, where someone can get shot in broad daylight in a downtown city such as New York, and no one can describe or really tell a little bit more detail about who did what. That just amazes me, how someone could have the gall, or sometimes we say have the balls, to do such a thing. Now, notice this particular headline: brazen targeted attack. A brazen targeted attack. So this refers to, as I said, someone that is bold or shameless in assaulting someone else or doing a crime. A targeted attack, meaning that it was something that was probably planned. I know a lot of people posted on social media, and I somewhat agree. It seems like it was what we would call a hit. Okay, someone may have had it out for this person. Okay, so again, a brazen targeted attack, someone that is bold enough to do something in broad daylight without shame to an individual, and they are violent, malicious, cruel, mean. A brazen targeted attack. Okay, so you might simply say the brazen targeted attack on the cafeteria lady was unnecessary just because they were out of pizza. Okay, so brazen targeted attack. Now, another word that is used here in this story is assailant. Assailant. Let's see if I can find where this particular word is. here in the story. It says that Brian Thompson was shot and killed in Midtown Manhattan Wednesday morning in a brazen targeted attack as he walked toward the hotel hosting the company's annual investor conference, New York police said. The gunman is on the loose, but the assailant, there it is, may have dropped some vital clues while fleeing or running away. So the assailant, okay, assailant. An assailant is a word that describes a person who physically attacks someone, okay, an assailant. And they often cause some type of harm or injury. So the assailant, you might say, was on the loose and the police were unable to apprehend her. Or you might say the assailant attacked the donut man because he was out of powdered donuts. Okay, so again, an assailant, a person who attacks another person. Okay, now another phrase here in this story I thought was kind of great and kind of cool that they used. It was a quote from someone. Let me see if I can find it. But it was in a jam. Okay, in a jam. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target, she said at a news conference Wednesday. I want to be clear at this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack. So in other words, it was something that somebody thought of, planned, and put into action. All right. Let's see if I can find where I found the particular phrase in a jam. I can't find it. Let me go back up some and read this to you. Okay. The gunman approached Thompson from behind and shot him at least once in the back and once in the right calf. Wow. Responding, emergency workers took Thompson to Mount Sinai West in critical condition, where he was pronounced dead at 7:12 a.m. That is so crazy. Okay, here it is. It says, delay was written on our live round that was ejected when the shooter appeared to be clearing a jam. So the firearm that the criminal used malfunctioned. And so sometimes we can say the gun jammed, or you might say, I was in a jam. I was in a tough situation, a bad situation, or I had a problem. So a gun can jam, or you can be in a jam, or you can put jam on a sandwich with peanut butter. Okay, so in a jam or jam can be used in a number of particular ways. Let me give you an example sentence. You might say, I found myself in a jam when my car broke down in the middle of the storm and I had no cell phone coverage. Okay, in a jam. Now, another word that was used here is anonymity. It's a mouthful, anonymity. So anonymity is when someone wants to speak about something, but they don't want their identity to be revealed. They want to remain anonymous. Okay. So again, it's when a person does not want to be identified. All right. They want their face or voice or name to be concealed. So have you ever seen a television show, or I believe there's a Progressive commercial out now to where, when someone wants to remain anonymous, they'll have a dark shadow over their face so you can't see them. and their voices usually has another sound, so you can't tell if it's a male or a female. They want to name anonymous or have anonymity. So someone that snitches, as we say, or a whistleblower, or someone that reveals something that is important that they don't want others to know that they told about, they want to remain anonymous. So you might say, I knew who robbed the store, so I called the police, but would only tell them who the culprit was if they guaranteed me anonymity. Okay, so I would tell them who the criminal was if I could remain anonymous. That's a mouthful. Okay, and finally, there was a word in here or a phrase at the beginning of this second to last paragraph. Notice it says, "We are shattered to hear about the senseless killing of our beloved Brian." We are shattered to hear. Okay, so when someone is shattered, of course, you can shatter glass, a window. You can sit on your glasses and shatter them. So when someone is shattered, it expresses, how can I say, emotional anger, distress, heartbreak, okay, trauma. Okay, I'm so shattered to know that my grandmother passed last week. Okay, I'm shattered, I'm upset, I'm devastated. Okay, so you might say, after hearing about the accident, the parents were shattered, but to their relief, their kids were okay. Okay, so I thought this was a very informative article here about a senseless crime that took place. And I'll tell you what, I told you guys earlier, a few weeks ago, that my wife and I went to New York for the first time. And this happened in an area, I believe it was on 54th Street in Manhattan in Midtown, where this happened, and we were right there. So that's amazing. That is so amazing. But let me know down in the comments section, what do you think about this? This is crazy, right? Where this can happen in our day and time, right in broad daylight. Well, I've talked to you about this story about a United Healthcare CEO that was fatally shot, and we have reviewed a few words and phrases, okay? Brazen targeted attack, when someone is at large. We've talked about what an assailant is, what it means to be in a jam, anonymity, and to be shattered. Well, with that being said, I hope you have enjoyed today's conversation. And as always, I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I hope to see you then, and let me know if you enjoyed today's English lesson. I hope you join me next time.